Welcome back to Marriage or Hell No. YouTube family, I must say one thing. I'm excited to bring you this video here today. Now, it's going to be a different type of reaction video than one we've done in a while, but I want to be clear about this video. In this channel, for that matter, a lot of women often get this channel confused. They think that we're out here bashing women, my content, or other content creators that exist in the manosphere. And I want to be clear. My agenda, my talking points are not about bashing women. Honestly, I've showed you guys great videos about what great women are, examples of women that I consider to be high value and what I and people like me would look for in a wife. But the reason why I'm so excited to bring you guys this video here today is because we are going to be talking about family, we're going to be talking about community, and we are going to be talking about the roles that both of us play in our communities. So, ladies, understand one thing. You have never been my enemy on this channel. I only advocate for men to make better decisions out here in the dating market and get rid of the agendas that have led so many of our great women astray. So, my fight has always been with the agendas that happen to try to manipulate the minds of the modern women who have broken down the nuclear family. So, what I'm going to show you in this video is what happens when the agendas move in, corrupt the minds of women, start destroying the nuclear family, and the ramifications that all of those things happen to have on what we call our families and our community. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
This is my opinion. Look at the porch. You see nobody? See nobody? Look at all of these homes that have no one on the porch. Ain't no one. See, back in my day, we had Big Mama. We had aunties and grandfathers on the porch. It was a village, and we looked out for each other. But now the Big Mamas is gone, or the Big Mamas is in the house, because the Big Mamas can't tell a woman, a younger woman, or a mother, what I'm saying, about your child, about how your child was acting, because you will go off on the Big Mama. See, that's why it wasn't abductions, it wasn't kidnappings, because the Big Mamas and aunties was on the porch. They was the watchdogs of the community. But now they rather stay in the house because they're in fear also of getting shot. They're in fear of their own community. I mean, look at it. Come on, y'all. Damn. We're in a sad time, y'all. And we need to come together immediately. Just my opinion.
There you have it. Thank you, brother, for pointing that out. And we're going to speak on this today because he is hitting hard on something that I very much believe in, just like I know a lot of you out there believe in this as well. What we have done is we have lost our way as far as our community structure. So what you heard this brother talk about is how our communities that we have built, both of us together, and the roles that we naturally have played that have worked for so long, how those communities have been affected by the decisions that certain agendas have allowed you to make. So we're going to have to spin this back. But what the brother was talking about there is something that I very much believe in, which is the idea of family and community. We have built multiple communities. We both, side by side, man and woman, husband and wife, have built some of the best communities this world has ever seen when we are united and when we are together. But certain agendas have pushed their way in. And ladies, let me be clear. On this channel, I point out behaviors that bad women make, but I also give respect to the great women that we have in this country. What we can still say is a few, but we hope that there's more of you coming to realize that it's going to take two of us to play our roles, the roles that we were given, in order to build back the communities that we lasted in for so long. But also, what happens when you remove a man out of the house, what it looks like in the community. And this brother was showing us something very important. So let me spin the video back and we're going to talk through it because we got to be able to break these things down and show the importance of how it all fits together.
This is my opinion. Look at the porch. You see nobody? See nobody? Look at all of these homes that have no one on the porch. Ain't no one. See, back in my day, we had Big Mama. We had aunties and grandfathers on the porch. It was a village, and we looked out for each other.
Now, if you know, like I know, that brother is speaking facts. When I was growing up, going to school, whether I was in New York City, making my way home from school, or sometimes we used to go visit my extended family deep down south to learn about my cousins and how they grew up. No matter what community I was in, you always had the mailman in the community. You might have had a police officer who was more like a community officer who was walking around, but everybody was friendly with him. And I'm not even that old, but you also had members of the community that were almost like your family. You see, this man passed by at least 10 or 12 homes that nobody is in. Grandmothers used to be out there, aunts used to be out there. You would see all the ladies in the neighborhood when you got out of school as a kid, and you made it to your block or wherever you from, you saw all the people, the next door neighbor, you knew who your best friend's mother was, you knew who their grandparents were. And even if your parents were not there, those members in the community served as your parents until your parents got home. And those are the things we built. But when you look at this video, you got to ask yourself, there are 12 houses that we looked at, and all of them are empty. That's unbelievable.
But now the Big Mamas is gone, or the Big Mamas is in the house because the Big Mamas can't tell a woman, a younger woman, or a mother, what I'm saying, about your child, about how your child was acting, because you will go off on the Big Mama. See, that's why it wasn't abductions, it wasn't kidnappings, because the Big Mamas and aunties was on the porch.
And the brother is speaking absolute facts because when you used to get off of the school bus or arrive at the block, there was no way in the world anything was happening because everybody was all outside. So now you heard what he said, and he specifically addressed women. So more than likely, if we're smart enough people to understand where he's coming from, is that within the community that he's talking about, more than likely they have a violence issue there or a crime problem there. And what happens when you take the male out of the household and destroy the nuclear family, now you have all of these kids who are raised in single parent households to where the mothers now are the ones who have to go to work. So if the mothers are going to work, right, then the children are free to do whatever the hell they want to do because the father is not at home. But see, back in the day when you had the proper family dynamic and the family was really most important in society, the man would usually go to work. The woman would be in a nurturing role with the kids. So big mama, aunts, everybody was there at our core function where he was off to work, you were holding down the children, but you were also within the community. So you were a part of the community. You were tied to the community. You had community responsibilities. But now, when a woman goes to work, she goes to work from, let's say, 9 o'clock in the morning. She may not get back home until 7, right? So now the kids are out there free to do whatever the hell that they want to do once they get out of school because nobody's at home. And when you do that, the kids are free to do whatever, whether it's a boy or whether it's a girl. they're out there causing havoc. And then when members of the community try to say something to said mother, who probably feels a little overworked because she has both responsibilities, both roles, which I don't agree with. There's no way in hell you should be sitting out there being a single mother. But when you have the breakdown of the nuclear family, now responsibilities and roles get taken away from the equation. And what you are seeing is the breakdown of the community. Think about it like this. That's why I'm a big fan of traditional values, because I would be forced to go off to work. Doesn't matter what happens. My job is to bring home the bacon. I understand that. Now, when I get married to my wife, we have kids, we buy a house within a community. So now my wife has responsibilities more in a nurturing role to help either educate, make sure the house is taken care of while I'm gone, but then also a role to play in the children's life and within the community. But see, when the man is forced out of the home and women have to go out there and work all the time, now this leaves the kids vulnerable and it's leaving the community vulnerable. And apparently, where this man comes from, some of these women, and you didn't hear him say anything about fathers. So most likely, some of these women are single mothers, and they're probably just not the easiest to talk to because they're frustrated for whatever situation's going on. Traditional family roles, traditional experiences, because it makes the community better. And that's what this brother is really showing us in this video.
They was the watchdogs of the community. But now they rather stay in the house because they're in fear also of getting shot. They're in fear of their own community. I mean, look at it. Come on, y'all. Damn. We're in a sad time, y'all. And we need to come together immediately. Just my opinion.
My fight, marriage or hell no fight, has never been with battling women. No, I'm an advocate of great women, of feminine women, but women that help build legacies and women that want to be what we know you want to be. Real wives, real mothers. I understand it's hard out there, but my fight has never been with you. My fight has always been with the agendas that have removed men out of the family home, who are controlling the modern woman narrative and helping reduce your value and making you go into debt, things like that. I despise those agendas. But I know that when we are together, there is nothing that can stop us, because this is the way it was meant to be. Not only for us, but for the legacies that we will live on to live a better life than what we had, and for the families and communities that we have built when we have been together. Let's try to find a point to where we can get back to that. Now, of course, all my videos will not be like this, but I do believe in a sense of community. And that's going to take us both in order to get there. Because remember one thing, we have a duty to family, we have a duty to our children, our legacies that we leave behind, but also we have a duty to our communities that we have built together for so long, us men and you women. Let me say this as well. This is what happens when you remove men out of the house. And ladies, you are forced to go out there and work and do things that we know don't make you happy. But you can see this new way. It doesn't benefit us. It does not benefit our communities. And it doesn't benefit our children.